Hello and welcome to Cybit's SBOM Studio. In this video, we'll take a deep dive look into the SBOM Catalog. After logging in to your Cybit's SBOM Studio, click on the SBOM Catalog on the left side. When you click the software catalog, you will see a dashboard on the right side showcasing a summary of different information about all the SBOM that you have uploaded so far. So here we can see the trend, your overall application security is increasing. The total vulnerabilities classified into severities like critical, high, medium, and low, package types, and the software licenses used. Diving into one of the applications Acme tools, you will see on the right side details about that specific application and other information. Here you will see the vulnerability patching cadence so far from the different versions of Acme tools that I have imported so far. I can see that the application security is improving as the new versions are uploaded. And I can also see in the CV widget about vulnerability information. Scrolling down, I can also see other information like what is the package type, the namespace, the name, and any other information like software licenses. Clicking on this I button, I can see the overall information about the Acme tools 2.4.20 being the latest is shown here. It shows what standard is being followed and what is the specification version of that standard, any generation tool information, and the person to import and update this version of application here. You can click on the score to get more information and also click this button to download the original file. Here you'll also see other tabs. We'll take a look at that one by one. Clicking on this filter button, I can see that only the special versions are marked, which is the in development, is released, and latest version, which are also marked by these different icons on the left side of the version. If I want to see all the versions that I've imported so far, I can do that by clicking on the filter and selecting all versions. If you want to mark any version as special, just go here and right click and mark as development or released. If you use any of the versions here which are not special in one of the products and publish that product, that specific version will automatically get marked as released. Based on the assembly timestamp and the version details, you will see that one of the versions is automatically marked as the. You can also open the specific version and look at the individual components for their additional information. So taking one of the examples such as Jackson data bind, I can see the version being used and the other information like starts, watcher, forks, maintainers, and this information is coming from the GitHub repository of Jackson data bind. Hovering above the code icon, I can see the languages used for this package, as well as what is the latest version of that. Here you will see certain fields with this Cybits logo. Basically what it means is these fields are enriched by us and our proprietary data lake. So you can see this section includes enriched Cybits fields, and this was also enriched. If there is any field with the red check mark, it means that it was corrected, meaning it was incorrect, and you'll also see the correct version mentioned there. You can individually check the vulnerabilities for each component like so, or click on the version and then go to the vulnerabilities tab to check vulnerabilities for that entire version, meaning all the components in that version. In the vulnerabilities tab, you can see the VEX widget on the top right. You can use this widget to filter at a high level. So let's say I want to see only critical vulnerabilities and address them first. I'll click critical. And if I want to do critical and high, I'll also select high. So now I'll only see critical and high over here. This is a way of prioritizing your vulnerabilities. You can also do that by clicking filter vulnerabilities and select the different filters available, like different sources of vulnerabilities or only severities of vulnerabilities or even the CVSS score of vulnerabilities and so on. You can apply this filter and then export. You can remove the filter as well. Going over the vulnerabilities, you can see the source of the vulnerabilities listed, and these vulnerabilities are sorted using the severities, also the component name. So you can see the component name struts2 core is listed first, then spring core and so on. You can click these different fields that you see in the vulnerability details. So example, read more will give more information about that vulnerability from NVD. Clicking on the CV, it will directly go to the NVD website and show you the details there. Clicking on the EPSS score, it will go to the first.org EPSS scoring sheet. If it is a KEV vulnerability, you'll see more information by highlighting your mouse on that KEV button along with the due date of the vulnerability. Clicking on the CWE, it will go to the MITRE website to give you the common weakness enumeration information of that vulnerability. You can also click this link to search CV by ID, and you can work on your VDP and VEX from here or from the product or at the component level. You can also see filter the CV from here like so. To collapse all the components, you can use this button. And in case you're using Jira integration, you can create tickets for vulnerabilities from here. We have covered more details on that in a separate video. So please take a look at that. Taking a look at dependency lookup, let's say I want to check about this one. I can see this is having a dependency path with this application. Taking another example under 2.4.20, I can now see one additional layer of dependency, which is product as well. So if I click the visualization, I can see that this component is being used in this application, which is a part of this product. I can download this transient dependency chart from here. Looking at the dependency licenses, we can see the licenses present in the SBOM corresponding to the respective packages. I can click on the marked version to see more information about that license. I can also export this to an Excel file if I like. So the default color of the license is blue. When it is red, it means it is in violation. Now this is an open source license, and this is in violation because we have applied a license policy here with the appropriate action of exclusive. Clicking on the compare tab, you can compare between the versions of the same application, which is Acme Tools, and see what has changed. So let's take an example of latest one, which is 2.4.20, and the oldest, which is 2.4.2. You'll see that now we are comparing vulnerabilities. So there were a lot of vulnerabilities in the old version, which is now resolved in the new version. Of course, there are some which are also there and not yet fixed. Clicking on this other icon here, instead of comparing vulnerabilities, you can also compare between the packages in these two different versions. Um, when this is enabled, this checkbox, it shows only the difference, which is highlighted here, like Jackson data bind going from version 2.12.6 to 2.12.6.1 and so on. If you want to see all the components, just uncheck this box and you will see all the other components. So some were removed as it is mentioned here, and some got upgraded. In case you make any changes like applying VEX or VDP, you can always come here and reanalyze that specific version. In case you have added a CPE manually to a specific component, let's say, you can do that. So here, one other mention is about the CPE and the component color. So the components highlighted in black color don't have any CPE, and they could be libraries. And the components with the blue color are having CPEs. So here you can see there are two CPEs for one specific component. Now it could be the case that these CPAs are enriched and you will see that with this check mark, or they could also be manually added as well. So anyways, whenever a CPA is present, you will see the color of the component highlighted as blue color. You can also delete any component, and if you want to add a component, you can just right click on the versions and add a library, framework, package, and application or any OS component from the catalog. And obviously that component has to be present either from the previous imports or it may have been created manually from there. You can also mark any special version, like if it is a release, you can unrelease it. If it is marked in development, you can remove that, unmark as development. You can also export dependency like licenses by clicking on this three dot menu and selecting that option. You can also filter and then export the vulnerabilities from here. So that's it about the SBOM catalog deep dive. Thanks for watching.